everything that's going up is coming down. And it's going to be more plane crashes. Because you have to realize this. We are in spiritual warfare. And all of your extraterrestrial races have returned to the planet at this moment. You got two types of extraterrestrial races, right? You got the good ones, and you got the bad ones. Now, a lot of people don't know the difference because they don't even admit to you that aliens are real. But yes, they're very real. And I don't even like to call them aliens. I like to call them what they are, extraterrestrial races. Because when you call them aliens, you take away from the fact that a majority of these extraterrestrial races look just like me and you. 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, a torso, hands, fingers, toes. They have families, they reproduce, they work jobs. They just do it on their planet. And the bad ones are the ones who, in the beginning, when the war first broke out, this all goes back to the war that broke out in heaven. Everything is going to always trace back to that moment. Because that's what it's all about, right? That's how we get to this point, because of this war that broke out in the heavens. Well, when the war broke out in the heavens, and Archangel Lucifer and Archangel Lilith, they decided to pack up and leave with Zeus, who was a god at the time, who became a fallen god. The Bible leaves out the aliens, right? The extraterrestrials, because they don't even want to admit to you that they exist. But they didn't just, I always told you guys, when Zeus left, he took half of the heavens and the cosmos with him. So he didn't just take like angels with him. He took gods with him, who became fallen gods. Zeus himself became a fallen god. He took elemental beings with him. He took elemental beings with him as well. He took cosmic forces with him. He took angels with him. He took titans with him. He also took some of the spiritual families with him. And he definitely took some extraterrestrials with him. Races. I have a book that will be coming out expounding upon over 300 different alien races to give you more detail of how vast the extraterrestrial races go and how many of them there is. But just to stay on topic with some of the main ones that get mentioned, like now that the truth is coming out, majority of the races that get mentioned is like the Alpha Draconian reptilians, the Pleiadians, the Greys, the insectoids. These are some of the main ones. So all of those will be part of the bad aliens, right? The bad guys. And they are here in full force. They've been here. These are the ones who, when you see people saying they see UFOs flying for years, it was actually these bad aliens that was already living here, the reptilians, the Pleiadians, Greys, and stuff like that, that people were seeing fly those ships. And when it wasn't them flying the ships, it was actually military personnel flying these ships. All right. And they have bases everywhere, the air, water, land, these aliens. But what has happened is, because we are in the end game, it's a spiritual warfare, we had a planetary alignment. The first one was in 2020, December 21st. That's the one that ushered us into what is now known as the Aquarius age. So when this portal opened, it aligned all the galaxies and all the planets within this galaxy. All right, so you got to remember, I've enumerated the cosmos for you. I brought that download to you. Just like I'm the one who brought the download down to this planet about the stargates, right? To help you remember that. Okay, so you got to understand, it's 999 planets in our galaxy alone, and right now we are in the Milky Way galaxy. So when the planetary alignment took place, you had 999 planets who are now aligned. So a planetary alignment means that each planet has portal entrances to these planets. But when all the planets aligned, it's basically saying that all the planets have the doorways to every planet is now in full alignment. Meaning, beings from other planets can now enter this planet. Beings from this planet can enter other planets. You don't necessarily need a portal anymore, or Stargate, and things like that. You can now enter these planets just by going within yourself, right? This is an advanced way of doing that. Extraterrestrial races who are already advanced in metaphysics understand that. So that means they can now enter this planet, because for the longest, the fallen races have set up what's known as a frequency barrier around the planet. So the frequency barrier, what it was doing is basically an electrical prison. The great Dr. York, Grandmaster Dr. York, Dr. Malachi Z. York, called it light code lockdown. I also like to refer to it as light code lockdown. But it also can be referred to as the frequency barrier. Okay, so this frequency barrier is an actual prison that was placed, a barrier that was placed around the planet. Now, if you keep in mind, we are spiritual and electrical beings, being that the spirit is electricity and the soul is magnetism. So we emit an electromagnetic force field around us known as an aura, spiritually. And science is called an electromagnetic force field. But in spirituality, it's known as an aura, right? So we emit this naturally. Well, this aura that we emit, right, also helps us to connect to the cosmos, meaning it allows us to talk and communicate with not just other gods from other planets and spiritual planes of existence, higher planes of existence, but also higher spiritual beings, deities, that's definitely extraterrestrial races. You can communicate with them. But when they go to broadcast a signal, when they create this frequency barrier, the frequency barrier acts as a deflector to the signals that were being sent by these alien races down to us. So this is why for so long they could not communicate with us the way they were trying to. The vibration of the planet was way too low. So in order for the extraterrestrial races to communicate with us, then the vibration of the planet would have to be increased, right? And the planet is vibrating very low, with nothing but hatred and anger and murder and rape and all these things being like really popular on the planet and being spread around the planet. It had the planet vibrating low. So our cousins, our cosmic family, with some of these extraterrestrial races, they on the outside of the planet trying to get into the planet to help us fight off the fallen, who are the bad aliens and the fallen gods, Zeus and them, basically Satan's kingdom. They were trying to fight them, help us get rid of them so we can free this planet. This is the last planet that has yet to be freed from Zeus's rebellion, right? When the rebellion first started, they took over 40 planets. It's now down to one planet. So they're trying forever, which would have been hundreds of years in our time, to get through to one of us, or some of us. But the frequency barrier was there. So we would send prophets and divine messages into the planet through the birth portal. You know, this is how you get all your great teachers of legend, right? So this is why we were sending these messengers, because the frequency barrier was in the way. So without being able to get communication directly to us, we had to send in messengers through the birth portal. All right? But every messenger we sent was attacked, destroyed, jailed, assassinated by Zeus and the Fallen in his system, because he knew that these messengers were sent here to help raise the vibration of the planet. As the vibration raises, eventually the frequency barrier would basically evaporate. So to prevent that, because remember, the higher you raise the energy, the warmer it becomes. So the warmer it becomes, it will basically melt and evaporate the frequency barrier, allowing our extraterrestrial cousins to interact with us, right? So that wasn't able to take place. So what happened was December 21st, 2020, we had a planetary alignment using advanced technology, right, from the gods with the assistance of the Anunnaki gods back on Sirius X, Xylanthia, using advanced technology and ancient yoga techniques. They were able to align the planets. So by aligning the planets, guess what? If we have extraterrestrial races on the 991st planet, and they're trying to communicate with us, and we're on the 999th planet, they no longer need to go through a frequency barrier. The doors have been aligned, so they can literally just walk through this planet's gateway, and it'll lead them into our planet, if that makes sense. Basically, they can go planet to planet as long as they stay on this alignment. So when the planets align, imagine it's like imagine the door being locked, right?